It's going to activate the waiting room. So I'll keep an eye on it during the meeting. So we welcome ourselves, the sweet aspect of being, of our common being, that which deep within us we know we are. The recognition of myself as your very self. A moment of remembering. Remembering that we are this transparent, that we are this effortless presence, rather than referring to ourselves in a limited fashion. We welcome our not knowing. In this moment, which is not in time, void of any limitations, void of any borders. Invite yourself to being, which you already are, the savoring of being. Our natural state, our effortless state of peace, which is not a state in time and space. Whatever we need is available to us fully and completely, moment by moment. Nothing lacking and nothing in excess. Although the mind seeks experiences, our essential nature is fulfilled as itself, by itself. Irrespective of the movements of the mind. Happiness is effortless. We cannot achieve it, and yet we are it. When the mind relaxes in presence, it releases its hold on the old, on the past. And then here we are, unveiled. Without any layers of identity. When we live from expectation, we are bound to meet disappointment. When we are seeking experiences and mind states, we are bound to experience the sense of separation. Because in reality, there is no past and future. just the totality of being, the wholeness of being. When we are seeking experiences, we have to go to the market and keep going to the market again and again. Eventually, we build our home in the market. Then we are troubled by all the noise of the market, of the activities. But internally, within yourself, within your very being, is God's castle. And you are the Lord of the castle. You have the title to the castle. All the rooms, all the walls, all the whatever is contained in the castle is yours. And yet, in your castle, there are no objects. You are the one and the many. And the many are the one. Although the mind tries to separate you from your kingdom, it always fails. It is not possible to separate you from yourself. And whenever you separate yourself from yourself, you are doing so out of your freedom. Playing the game of separation, of hope, of despair. What for? What is it that you truly desire? And what's in the way? Do you need to define yourself as what? A person, a man, a woman, a successful entrepreneur? What do you need to define yourself? Are you that which you define yourself to be? Are you that which you feel yourself to be? Of course not. We hold on really tightly to nothing. We argue so successfully or not with ourselves. We love the other according to our conditions. Is that what we do? We honor God when we are pleased with how the world is appearing to us. Can we explore in this moment to be not knowing, to relax our inner conditions, our inner grip. When you turn your attention on yourself, this very moment, are you turning yourself, are you turning your attention on the sensations or the perceptions? What are you in this moment? What defines you in this moment? Are you defined by the thoughts that appear to you? Or a storyline that's going on? Storyline, some storyline. Are we living inside a storyline? This is what we are, a storyline. A storyline A meeting storyline B. This is what relationship is. My storyline meeting your storyline. My ideas about myself, my ideas about you. Is this how we meet? Is this how we love? My feelings. My feelings so important, so important. My feelings are so important. Is this how we are living? Feelings and sensations, vibrations within the body. Is this what we are? Vibrations within the body. It seems so important. What gives them such importance? Your thoughts about yourself. Of what value are they? What gives them value? Your ideas about yourself, about the world, about the other. What gives them any value? What makes your thoughts more special than the songs of the bird and the sound of the wind? This is the way to live inside my bubble, my perfect bubble, polished. And I meet you. Can I meet you when I'm living within my bubble? What am I meeting, if not my own projection? What is it to meet each other without the past, without any past? No bubble, no history. The fresh meeting, honorable meeting, where I hold no stories about you, no stories about myself. Do I live from soundbite to soundbite to soundbite? This is what my life is. A series of sound bites. What is it that is real, absolutely real, that we all know? Not some image, some concept, some great theory about reality, but in our direct experience, moment by moment. Obviously, there is a reality. There's something rather than nothing. Are we separate minds? This is what we are. We need to take a look at this. Look at the wide open sky, undefined, unstirred by the shape and the size of the clouds that appear within it. Look at the ocean of love. Always available, always loving, irrespective of what appears. Never off. Always on. Can you get a sense of that? so that you can live this life and express this love. The conduit, the channel. Sooner or later, all these bodies die. What remains? There is a koan in the Zen tradition. It goes, what does your face look like before you were born? What does your face look like before you were born? What does your true face look like right now? Not the image of the body, but your true face. Because if you don't know your true face, you don't know yourself. You only know the image of the body, which is constantly changing. 10-year-old face, 20-year-old face, 60-year-old face. What is your true face? Does it have any age? When was your true self born? Not the body that was born in 1990, 1996, 1950. But your true self. That which you truly are. Not the body, not the body mind. There is no way around this question. You have to cross the ocean of eternity. Sooner or later, you have to go from the relative to the absolute. Or you can stay on the wheel of samsara, the spinning wheel. So we take a look always It's always right now, in this moment. Right now. The transparency of being, which is neither male or female. It's not 50-year-old or 30-year-old. Our true nature is effortless presence, Satchitananda, which we know as I am. I am aware. And this I is not the body-mind. Whenever you're referring to the body-mind, you're referring to an object, an instrument. Don't mistake it to be yourself. Yes? Always. I, just I. Not I, somebody, or I, something. Just I. The purity of I. The freedom of I. The transparency of I. The universality of I. The complete not knowing. Being not knowing. Being not knowing. Our true home. Beyond all impressions of limitations, beyond all impressions of good and bad. The freedom from the impression of lack and unhappiness. Our true home. We have all it takes. Okay, if you have any questions, anything that you would like to explore, please make sure to unmute yourself. Any questions? Hello, Lisa.
Hi. The other day on the call, you were in response to someone, you mentioned something about dreams. And I was wondering if you could, where is consciousness when a dream is happening? And the body mind is dreaming, is that what's going on? And what do you have to say about, I mean, there's all this, theory about dreams and having significance and their premonition dreams and such. I was just wondering what your
Yes,
perspective is on that.
right. So dreams appear within consciousness. It's not possible to perceive any perception without awareness, right? So in terms of your question, where is consciousness during the dream? Consciousness is absolute. It's always.
It's always there.
Consciousness is always there. So sometimes the dream is there, sometimes the dream is not there. Sometimes the dream takes this form and shape. Sometimes it takes a different form and shape. So in terms of where is consciousness, I is consciousness. I, that which perceives the dream. If I speak of a dream, that means there is something that I'm speaking about, which is my experience. It's not like I'm talking about blue men on the moon. I'm talking about my dreams, yes? So obviously I'm talking about something that I know, which means I was there or I am there, right? So where is consciousness is similar to where am I right now? Same question, where is consciousness during the dream is a question, where am I right now? Here I am. I am. Now, in terms of the body-mind instrument, the body-mind instrument is a very, very, very sophisticated instrument, one could say, comparatively speaking to other instruments. The brain is much faster than a computer. And there is no robot that we've invented yet that can come to 1/1,000,000th of what the body-mind instrument is capable of doing. So in terms of the question about the body-mind, is it the body-mind that is dreaming? Well, when you're using your glasses to see, you put on your glasses to see, is it the glasses that are perceiving? Is the body-mind dreaming? Is this question, are the glasses seeing? No, the body-mind is not perceiving. No, the glasses are not seeing. It is always I that sees. I perceive, yes? I doesn't refer to the body-mind, except if you believe that the body-mind is I. Once I believe that the glasses is I, then yes, the glasses are seeing. Now they're looking at they're seeing the ceiling. Now they're seeing the floor. Now they're seeing the lamp. Yes? So the belief that I am the body-mind leads to the question, or is it the body-mind that is dreaming? Now, of course, the glasses are part of the experience, because without the glasses, I'm not seeing. With the glasses, I'm seeing, but it's always the I, it is always I awareness, which is not seeing or which is seeing the screen. So the body-mind instrument is a useful instrument to perceive the dreams. If the body-mind is dead, the brain activity is turned to zero, the EKG is straight line, then we cannot record any brain activities. No brain activities. There is no, the instrument is no longer functional. But although the body-mind instrument is no longer functional, it does not mean that I am no longer functional. Except if you believe that I am the body-mind. If you believe that I am the Lisa body-mind, a name that mom and dad, they loved the name Lisa, they said, sweetheart, we're going to call her Lisa, you see. If you believe that you are that body-mind that mom and dad called Lisa, then you experience yourself as this Lisa, whichever way you formulate it in your brain and in your feeling state. So then you experience yourself as this set of images and sensations. Now, dreams are like this perception right now is a dream. It's an appearance. But it's an appearance that we are so familiar with, we've classified it. Today is Sunday, this fellow, his name is Mehdi, we are meeting together. So the brain has sort of classified, and now there is a recognition. So the dream is has been rehearsed. You know how like sometimes when you move to a new neighborhood or a new state or a new country, you don't know anything, you're lost. I mean, you're lost. Everything is new to you, every street, you say, oh, there's a gas station here, oh, there is a store here, you buy a house there and you don't know how to go to your house. But after a month or 2 months or a certain period of time, the brain makes reference points. At the gas station, I make a right. If I'm coming from this freeway, hit the gas, I make a right. And then at the next light, I make a left. See? And then you sort of know where your home is, because there's been some sort of structure in your brain, an image in your brain. After a while, you don't need to, you don't even pay attention. I need to make a right at the gas station. You're just sort of, you're automatically doing it, you say. Automatically doing it. So this experience here is different from the night dream, because in the night dream, it's always new. You know, the dream that you had last night, today is a different dream. You don't even remember the dream of last night. And even within one night, there's this dream, and then it changes to this and changes to that. And you may remember upon waking up this small sets of images. You say, oh, I dreamt that I was, visiting with my school teacher, when I was in high school, blah, blah. But it's just a snippet of so the question is, what is the significance of the dream? Which is the same as what is the significance of this waking dream. Whether it's a night dream or waking dream, they have one significance. And that significance is to be happy. It's happiness. The end of the impression of misery. You know, in my dreams, there used to be sometimes some fears. No, absence, there's an absence of fear. In fact, the night dream or the waking dream, they're the same quality. Images that sort of appear and disappear. It's always the tranquility, the peace of being. Now the dream is so beautiful, the night dream, because it's so full of metaphors. It's very helpful. For example, in the night dream, you win $1 million and you feel so happy, and you're inviting everybody over and you're having a party and you're just like so happy, and maybe a lot of beautiful things happen to you, or maybe some unfortunate things will happen to you. It feels and seems so real. And yet, the alarm clock rings. Where is all this experience that seemed so freaking real? Yes? It's the same in the waking state. Oh my God, I'm so happy I got this. Oh, she smiled at me. He gave me a raise, whatever. Boom, in a snap, it's gone. What remains? The night dream ends. What remains? I remain. I wake up. Yes, I wake up. Similarly, in the waking state, boom, snap, images, dream ends. What remains?
Yeah.
The thought of 5 minutes ago, where is it now? Who cares? And yet here you are, right?
Yes.
Not, oh, I feel good, I feel that, and no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about here I am. Here I am. I'm talking about that which doesn't come and go. That which remains when you wake up. When you wake up from the dream, wake up in the morning, what is it that wakes up? Before the thought was, oh, I need to, go shopping, or I need to get early to work, or whatever. Before that thought, you wake up. Yes, you wake up. And then the thought says, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, But before the thought arises, you wake up. What is it that wakes up? That which has always been awake wakes up. That which was awake during the dream state was there, perceiving the dream. Because when you say, I dreamt of going to Switzerland, that means you were there.
Right.
You were there. What is it that was there? Not only the dream that you're going to Switzerland, but something was there perceiving it. Something which was awake beyond the dream, awake to the dream, awake to the journey to Switzerland. That which was awake to the scenes that appeared, which is that which is awake to hearing these words right now. That which is awake this moment. What is it that is awake this moment? I.
So is it, like you said, it's just like you said, the night dream is like the daydream. The same thing?
It's the same thing, but it's different speed, different players,
Right, different players.
new characters that appear. You are still in the theater, but it's a different play.
Okay.
New producer, new choreographer, new actors, and you have no idea what the script is. It's not like you're going to watch Macbeth, or you're going to watch Cats, or it's not like you're going to a play that you already sort of know. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. So in a night dream, if you were to receive information or whatever, and you wake up remembering it, is it more of a metaphor, or is it literal, or how do you know?
There are two types of information in the night dream and in the waking dream. There is information about that which appears in the dream. In other words, there is information about the dream, and there is information about the dreamer. So the information about the dream, I am not very, I've never been interested, or I'm not, and I'm not knowledgeable about information that you get during the night dream about the dream. There are people who specialize in that. I've always felt that it's a rabbit hole. Like scientists trying to understand what matter is, or what the universe is, there are a lot of interpretations. There are people who specialize in that, which is information about the dream. But information about yourself is very, very different. Some dream interpreters who are deep in ignorance, but they are very knowledgeable about interpretations of dream. They interpret the dream for you as if it giving you information about yourself. Because they are ignorant, they are in ignorance. They believe themselves to be the body-mind, and they believe therefore you to be the body-mind. So you have to take dream interpretation with a big grain of salt, a lot of grain of salt. Salt from the Himalaya, But now, information about you from the dream is very precious. I give you an example of it. Years ago, in one of my dreams, there was the dream, and then there was sort of an awareness, when I'm still sort of, the body is still sleeping, dreaming. There was an awareness of the I that's dreaming this dream and that's watching this dream. And then in the dream, in that which I was dreaming, there was an I that appeared, and me that appeared. And still within the dream, I realized that this I which is appearing in the dream is not the I that was dreaming, that was watching the dream. And this I that appeared in the dream, the character that appeared in the dream, had some anxiety with it. In the moment of realizing in the dream that I am watching this character, that anxiety dissolved. And the information within the dream was about I, the dreamer. It's very rare, actually, within the night dream. And it's not important, but it's very rare to have insight, direct insight about yourself. I mean, extremely rare. So I wouldn't bother going to dream interpreters to help me get information about myself. They will only give you interpretations about the dream story. They will never give you information about yourself, your true self. They give you information about the story, your storyline, which is completely irrelevant in Advaita, in non-duality. It's completely irrelevant. Now, in the waking state right now, we also get a lot of information. We get information about the world, we get information about the body, we get information about all sorts of the politics, we get information about our neighbors, we get information about the universe, we get all sorts of information in the waking state. But what matters beyond all, at least relevant to us in the teachings, is the information that you get in the waking state about yourself, not about the body, not about, you know, the political situation, not about what's going to happen to you in the year 2035, or when is going to be the next earthquake, or when is the world going to come to an end. Not information about that, but information about yourself. Information about yourself means information about your true self. There is no other self but the true self. There aren't two selves. Information about yourself means information about reality. And this is what these meetings are about.
Okay. I was just curious. I mean, I'm not into it.
Curiosity.
I know about it. It was just mentioned in one of the RSAT signs about dreams, and I was just contemplating it earlier today and wondering what the significance was. So I thank you for
Zero.
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 Okay.
Only be interested in the information about your true self. Whoever understands your question, to whomever you say, I am interested in information about my true self, which is your true self as well. Whomever to whom you say that and understands you, you can hang out with that person. Otherwise, don't bother. Enjoy yourself.
Yes. Thank you for taking the time.
Okay, Lisa. Lovely to talk with you. Yes. Any questions?
Magdi, what strikes me as direct experience the most is this not knowing that you were talking about.
Yes.
Because it's kind of like on a different level. I can't even explain it. Sometimes I read a lot about this non-duality, and on my spare time, I really dedicate myself. But sometimes it's just kind of almost you feel that you're visualizing what would you like to be kind of thing. But in not knowing, that disappears. There's just something totally different, which is completely beyond and is nameless. And it's completely open and kind of like you're living in a different, it looks different because I'm not used to it, but it's like you come out of something and it's completely without effort and aim and goal or anything, no plans and no, they're just this blessed emptiness, I would call it, something which was beyond the body, and it's like goes everywhere, in infinite directions. And I felt it today when I was kind of thinking about the truth, as it were. And it kind of came on its own. It's just kind of exploded. And body was there, but it was not particularly meaningful. There was this something totally different, which was beyond. And it's these moments I feel that I'm not kind of in the visualization mode of what the qualities, the perfumes, everything that we talk about, the concept of infinity, the concept of this or that, and I like to write things as well. And it kind of, these things had just no name. It was just emptiness, but full of itself. That's all I can say. And I have a similar thing when I think of, rather than I the perceiver, I the witness, this or that, is the reality. I also think I spoke before, because it's also got no limits, no borders somehow. Reality is reality, and there's no center. No center. So all this kind of thinking of it as a center dissolves, is gone. And then just reality or this not knowing, which is kind of the same for me. So you repeated that. It's kind of in your meditation, I heard the answers to what I experienced on very little while ago. It's kind of all kind of happened. And I really want to say thank you very much for this. And I think today's experience was absolutely extraordinary. I felt it very, very deeply and strongly. And I really want to thank you. I want to thank everyone that is here, that is experiencing. And I think this joy, this revelation of something inexpressible is so important.
Yes. You know, all expressions they arise out of the inexpressible. One could say that forms and shapes are a vibration of the formless and the shapeless. Of course, it's just a metaphoric way of speaking, because that way which we are speaking about is beyond words, it's unspeakable. But yet we use some metaphoric language, poetic language, to express the inexpressible. The sounds and shapes forms are the sound of silence, the movement of the stillness, which is our very being. Is this silent stillness that is dancing as this expression right now. And in spite of its dance, in spite of the way it appears, it remains silent and still. The impression of time and space is the eternity of being, meaning the infinite timeless, which dances, let's say, as time and space, all time and all space, the infinite that appears as space, and the eternal which appears as time. So in terms of the question that Lisa was asking about the significance of the dream, meaning the significance of time and space, is that it has within it the imprint of the source. Time has within it the imprint of the eternal, of eternity. And space has within it the imprint of infinity. So the significance of our experience is that it refers us to the source. And that which is absolute in our experience. As you said, which has no center and infinite radius, is awareness, consciousness. Without a center and infinite radius, which is I, which is what we refer to as I, the I am, which is infinite, invisible, and yet manifests itself as infinite body minds, without ever losing its infinity and eternity and its formlessness. It appears as infinite forms without ever actually becoming any particular form. Like the metaphor of your night dream, so many forms, so many objects appear, seemingly so real, and yet they're just dream manifestations of you, the dreamer. So I, consciousness, appear as infinite body minds. So each body mind carries within it the stamp of the source. I am thou, and thou am I. I recognize you as my very self, my complete self. I perceive you, I know you as myself. Not as myself out there, but as my very self. Beyond the capacity of the mind to formulate any narrative about it. It's understood at a much deeper level. This understanding is the understanding of consciousness to consciousness, consciousness knowing itself.
Thank you.
Very nice talking with you. Thank you. Patrick, I am just reading your question here. You're right. I love your perspective on dreams. I have wondered the same thing about déjà vu. Magdi, do you have a perspective on what the phenomenon of déjà vu? Does it have any significance? Yes. The déjà vu experience does not refer to anything magical, anything fantastic, or any particular fantastic skills of any particular body-mind. Déjà vu refers to the eternity of time, that the past, present, and future, they meet each other in their source, which is consciousness. They arise from the same source, which is consciousness, I consciousness. So I consciousness is perceiving all perceptions, past and future, in the eternity of being. Now, from the perspective of the mind, we perceive linear time. First, we conceive linear time. And because we conceive linear time, we perceive linear time. In other words, we sense and we experience time as past, present, and future, which does not correspond to our direct experience, which is always the experience of being, always now, always the eternity of being. So the conceptualization of time, and therefore the experience of time, overrides or veils our experience of the eternal. So our experience of the eternal is veiled by linear time. So in linear time, from the linear time perspective, a déjà vu experience is an experience of traveling into the past and experiencing a past experience and bringing it to the present. The déjà vu experience from the model of linear time is an experience that I'm having now of something that occurred in the past, which in fact is not possible, because in linear time, the past is being erased and you are traveling in the present. For example, it's not possible for you to experience breakfast this morning. You can have ideas and images that arise in the moment, in the present, about breakfast this morning, but that is not the experience of breakfast this morning. So whatever experience you have now about the past is a caricature of quote unquote the past. It is not the actual past, because in the linear model, you cannot experience the past. Now, of course, you have the quantum model. The quantum model, time and space are one. There isn't, it's not a linear model. It's more like a looped model where past and future meet. It's a model where the particle and the wave, the particle is a particle, but it's also a wave. It's not separate from the previous particle. in the wave, there are no separate particles, or the particle in the wave is the particle at this point of the wave is the same particle at that point of the wave. It's just one wave. So there are models that bring some bring the linear model in question. But from the perspective of consciousness, there is no time. Or one could say, time is the eternity of being. It's not that all of time is condensed in an instant, but it is that there is no time. So consciousness is viewing infinite minds simultaneously. So déjà vu is a no-brainer for consciousness, because in fact consciousness is viewing past, future, and present within itself. So a metaphor of that would be that there is a tsunami in the ocean. Now, the tsunami in the ocean, from a local perspective, it's a local event. It's a local event. The way that precedes the tsunami does not know about the tsunami, and the wave that follows the tsunami already knows the tsunami. That's from the local perspective. But from the ocean's perspective, the ocean knows the tsunami even before the tsunami was conceived, as the tsunami is conceived, and knows the tsunami throughout its entire journey throughout the ocean. It's a very different perspective than the linear perspective. So in the metaphor of the tsunami, a déjà vu experience would be where a drop of water in the ocean experiences a tsunami, and it's somewhere else in the ocean. It's 20 kilometers away from the 1,000 kilometers away from the tsunami. It experiences a tsunami. It says, "Oh, I have a déjà vu experience of a tsunami that was here, yesterday, or that was here a year ago, that was here 5 years ago." But in fact, this drop of water is just consciousness knowing the tsunami, like every drop of water within the entire ocean knows the tsunami, because it's not apart from the tsunami. Anyways, I hope this was not very confusing, but the significance of the déjà vu experience is if you can take a look at the déjà vu experience from the perspective of the eternity of consciousness, then that would be the significance of the déjà vu experience, which is very, very rarely understood, or I would say it's very, very commonly misunderstood as some ultra-phenomenal experience. But from the point of view of consciousness, it's a no-brainer. Any questions?
Magdi.
Salut Shiva.
Salut, salut. Did I hear you say earlier in the satsang that the purpose of being here is happiness?
Yes.
Great. So that means 99.9% of humanity are missing the boat completely, right?
I would say that from the perspective of our common human condition, we have a misunderstanding about happiness. We associate happiness with experience. We associate happiness with mind. And so because we associate happiness with mind, we experience moments of happiness. In other words, when the mind is fulfilled, it becomes quiet. It sort of dissolves. And at that moment of dissolution of the mind, we experience happiness. But then the next object arises, the next desire arises, and then we again, we are on the wave. So, from the perspective of humanity, we experience bits of happiness here and there. We don't experience happiness throughout our experience, throughout our life.
So
conditional happiness.
Okay, right. So what we should actually really say to make the point clear is the purpose of being here is non-phenomenal happiness.
Happiness is non-phenomenal. That's a very good point, Shiva. Thank you. I think maybe last satsang we talked about that a little bit. Absolutely. That is a very, very important thing to understand, is that happiness is not non-phenomenal. You just think about it. Joy, happiness, freedom, beauty, love, understanding, they're non-phenomenal. That's a key understanding. There is a difference between the phenomenal and the noumenal, or the non-phenomenal. So the qualities of the non-phenomenal are not phenomenal. The qualities of the noumenal are not phenomenal. So whatever you achieve from the phenomena, from the phenomenal, raise great money, somebody who loves you, a great partner, you win the lottery, whatever you achieve from the phenomenal is phenomenal. It does not deliver the noumenal, but it's at the ending of the phenomenal, when the phenomenal drops, that you experience the noumenal, not because the ending of the phenomenal has caused the noumenal. No, because the ending of the phenomenal clears the stage for that which always is there, the noumenal. In other words, happiness is our true nature, but on the stage of happiness, which is our true nature, we are pursuing phenomenal experiences because we have separated ourselves as a phenomenal form. I am this body mind, and I want this and that and that. So personal desires crowd the stage. And when the personal desire is fulfilled, we experience a moment of happiness, not because the personal desire has delivered to us happiness or has caused happiness. No, it's because that personal desire at that moment died.
Has ceased, yeah.
And has ceased. And what remains is our true nature, happiness.
Right.
Happiness.
Right.
So if we continue to pursue object A, object B, experience A, experience B, etc., it's exhausting, first of all. Secondly, we only experience snippets of happiness after a lot of effort and hard labor. So the direction is a completely different direction. Of course, there is the body mind. Of course, there are desires. There is joy in playing and creating and being with friends, in enjoying life. Of course, but to confuse that with that which delivers happiness, no. It's a celebration. It can be life is a celebration, but the happiness, we need to find it. Life is about happiness. We need to find the happiness, as you very well said, noumenal. That which is noumenal in our experience is there, present right now. It's obviously not the body. It's obviously not the feelings. It's obviously not the sensation. What is it that is nominal in our experience right now? What is it?
Right. And it works also the other way around. In fact, instead of like the tail end of pursuing phenomenal happiness and then just experience the seizing of the desire, and I feel this is happening a lot these days, with everything changing constantly so fast, and so many uncertainties and facts and fact checkers and opposing opinions and all that kind of stuff. And I had this morning where it was like, there was so much frazzled energy in the environment, you know, things changing around very fast. And so there is this desire arose of just being at peace and being quiet and, you know, grounded. And then in that moment when that arose, it became very clear that there's the same trap of saying, okay, when I finish the work and when the stuff is done, and when then I can go into peace and quiet. And the invitation was very clear there, and saying, hey, this is completely phenomenal. So if you want to be in a phenomenal response, you can wait till you blue in your face to experience that noumenal peace. And there's nothing which can stop you from experiencing the noumenal peace, even though it's completely chaotic all around you, you know?
Yes, you know,
do you know what I mean? It's
yes.
sort of like it's the same approach. It's this, the peace and the joy and the happiness are quintessentially noumenal, and it depends on us to unveil that, to rediscover that somehow. I mean, that feels what's happening in my life these days. So anyway,
you know, in our, when we take a look at our experience any moment, and we find a disturbance, there are two aspects to a disturbance. There is the phenomenal aspect of the disturbance, which is just a circumstantial situation where there is a lot to do in little time, for example, or you're resting and a neighbor knocks on your door. So there is an aspect of disturbance which is sort of phenomenal. But there is another aspect of disturbance which is noumenal, where we feel unhappy. There is an unhappiness. It's an inner job. And the inner job is that of resistance, or that of self-definition, defining myself. It's maybe a subtle process, defining myself as somebody, and therefore somebody that must have this experience, that experience, things should be this way, that way, etc. You know, the whole narrative starts with the inside job of self-definition.
Right.
So that aspect of the disturbance is an aspect of the disturbance that has nothing to do with the quote unquote circumstantial disturbance, because you could have zero circumstantial disturbance and still have that inner job where there is an inner disturbance. So yes, there is a available to us, and it's important for us to recognize it. It's available to us to in this moment, every moment, irrespective of whatever is appearing in the circumstances on the screen in our life, there is available to us this inner love, inner contemplation, inner looking, and adjusting. It's a simple adjustment. The adjustment is very simple. It's that of noticing the inner resistance, because in noticing some form of inner resistance, whichever way it expresses itself to everybody mind, in that noticing there already is the light of wisdom. There is love in noticing.
Very true.
That love is a light within us, you see. And
Yeah.
it's not somebody who's giving it to us or taking it away from us.
Yeah.
It's as if we are lighting our own lantern.
Yeah. Yeah. The incredible power of being able to hear it's okay,
Yes.
no matter what. You know what I mean? In the sense of like, there is you're 100% in that turbulence, and yet there's something which is okay with it, and which is also independent of it to some degree, even though it's completely 100% intrinsic to it.
Yes,
So,
it's okay. It's okay. Yes, that it is okay. And I am not a person. And I am not a person. Because if it's okay,
right.
if it's okay for the person, then I'm still a person, and I'm still in the, well, it's okay now, but maybe it won't be okay in 2 minutes. It's okay, but I'm not a person.
Right. I mean, I have to say this whole person spiel is a little like, it feels like it's a little like, it's like an old skin already, you know? I don't know what to say. I mean,
yeah, but
you know what I mean? The whole thing of like, I'm the witness and there's the person, and that kind of thing is sort of like, I don't know what to say.
No, Shiva. Sorry to interrupt you. Don't banalize. Banalize. Is that an English word? Don't banalize.
Probably not. Banaliser.
Yeah. Don't banalize. Don't banalize. I am not a person. Be careful.
What's the English expression for it? I don't know. Yeah. I know what you mean. Don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remain completely fresh in your looking. You know, not like like it's an old. Oh well, I've been there, done that.
I hear you.
The fresh seeing in the moment. You know, not like a mantra, but to freshly see it in the moment. That there is that download. It's a download that is very subtle. The me feeling.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yes,
it's ongoing. I didn't mean to banalize. I actually like the word. Let's create a new English verb. I didn't mean to banalize it, but I just mean I'm not using the word anymore.
Yes,
it doesn't mean that I'm not.
Yes, you have the spirit of it.
Vigilant to the spirit of it. Yeah,
it's more powerful than the words. The spirit of it is more. The spirit of it is more.
Sort of the essence. I find myself like being somewhat intellectual, that words and intellectual debates have a tendency to keep me away from the essential, the essence of it all. You know, so. It's more important to be with the, and I don't want to even say feeling, with the truth of it,
yes,
and with the revelation of it, than having a verbal concept of it and applying, you know, intellectual strategies and rules to it. So that's what I meant.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Yes, thank you, Shiva. Yeah.
Thank you, Magdi. Thank you. Love you.
Love you too. It's available to us, you know, moment by moment, always this moment. This self-recognition. Self-recognition meaning that in this moment, it's an effortless moment of being, of presence. And that in this effortless moment of being, of presence, there is a complete intimacy with the breath, intimacy with the perception, intimacy. I'm never experiencing anything that's apart from my very being. Like that, my experience is at zero distance with itself. It's intimate with itself. So I never leave. It's not possible for me to leave myself. And that myself is not an object. It's this intimacy. It's love. It's love. Okay, well, very beautiful. Thank you, Sheila, for points that you made. Very lovely. Okay, and Nathan, lovely to see you, Nathan. Trish, Holger, yes, lovely to see you, Holger. Esther, hello, Esther. George, Richard, hello, Richard. Grace, Frank. Mina, hello, Mina. Doug, hi, Doug. And Lily,
Thank you.
hello, Lily. And Lisa, hello, Lisa. Patrick, and John. And I hope I got everybody. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you very much.